Sup boys and girls, does ping directly relate to your skill? So online, I've seen a whole lot of people complain about either people having high ping, complaining about other people having high ping. I see a lot of people complaining about high ping, and there seems to be a whole lot of misinformation about how ping works, and how ping reflects on your gameplay and how you can perform in Minecraft, and actually any other game. Ping is a type of latency that it takes for your PC, your client, to communicate to the server. Hypixel server is based in Chicago, in America. And I live in Europe, in the Netherlands. That's quite far away. Generally that would be around 100 milliseconds, but due to some inconsistencies in Hypixel, some protections, it has recently spiked up to around 130 to 150, which is quite high. People see Bridge as a pretty competitive game mode, and some even want it to be a esports game. When you're talking about an esports game, ping is definitely a very important factor, because it can cause a whole lot of inconsistencies and definitely affects your game. For example, when the game starts, the first thing that happens is you get released out of your cage. Guess what? I'm on 150 ms. That means it takes 150 milliseconds for my PC to notice that the cage has been released. Now in comparison with someone that has 20 milliseconds of ping, that would only take 20 milliseconds for him. By comparison, that means that he already has a 0.1 second advantage on me from the start of the game. Oh my god, what is that? I did a short comparison in single player on how long it should take me for me to eat my gapple and how long it takes on Hypixel. As you can see, it is definitely noticeable. It's not too big. If you're a casual gamer yourself, don't really care about it, I see why it's not big of a deal. But as someone who has played in many tournaments themselves, and is part of probably arguably the most competitive group in Minecraft itself, Minecraft Bridge group PremQ, it means a whole lot to me and to almost everyone else playing. So we talked about gapples and cages releasing, but there's much more. For example, shooting your arrow. It might seem easy, you wouldn't really expect it, but this is probably one of the most annoying things. So to get an exaggerated example, I went on Zyncraft, a server from Zin69 himself. It's based in Australia, literally on the other side of the world for me. I get around 250 ms ping on there, which is really high. But as you can see, it takes such a long time for my arrow to finally get released from my bow. In that time there could... And with also having a delayed vision of where a player is, 250 milliseconds delayed, it is practically impossible to track someone and actually get an accurate shot. And also, bowing mid-fight is near impossible. Now to the next quite important issue is the fact that you see everyone else with a 250 millisecond delay. At least me on Zyncraft. That means if I try and block someone off while they're in a head hitter and they're shooting out, I can probably not get them. I got my friend Welloe to test this out for me. He was in a head hitter and I was trying to block him off, and you know, this is an exaggerated result because I don't play on Australian servers, but this definitely happens to me on Hypixel and probably has happened to you as well. Depending on your ping, this happens more often or less often. And with this high ping that everyone is experiencing, there's also some very scummy strats, like walking through. A great example is jirz with his walking through montages. They're very funny to see, but for some people kind of ruin the experience, because you can't really do anything if there's one player that's basically in the future for you. Because it takes around 150 milliseconds for them to take knockback. So there's also some advantages to having high ping. But I wouldn't really say there are advantages. It's just overall a less competitive experience for both parties if either one of them has higher ping. That's why in any high tier esports game, the big tournaments with the big prize pools all happen on LAN. Now what is LAN? LAN is basically zero delay networks. They're all locally. LAN means local access network, I'm pretty sure. I'll correct that if I'm wrong. But basically all the computers and machines are all locally in one area, all connected to one server. Allows everyone to have 0 ms, meaning 0 delay, everything is instant. Or near instant. Now you can't really blame Hypixel for this, because Hypixel is in no way trying to be an esports game. Nor will it actually ever be a very competitively viable one, because of some lag, some other stuff. And especially for Europeans, or anyone outside of America, they suffered the most from high ping on Hypixel, which is quite unfortunate, because I'd like to play Bridge on low ms and see how far I can go. If you yourself are a high ms player and you're very competitive, there's a big chance that if you're on low ms, you would probably perform better. The skill ceiling increases when both parties are on low ms. If you think otherwise, please feel free to send a comment, send a reply. I'll happily have an argument with you. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, I'll admit it. But for now, I'll stand by this point. So I was really bummed out about having high ms, so that's why I created my own server. I think Europeans should have a chance of going pro in Bridge too, or at least enjoy the best of it and increase the overall skill ceiling again. So there's going to be a tournament happening on play.CruhBridge.net in the next month ish. So if you're a European, or maybe even from the US, feel free to join. We're gonna flip the tables of ping and see how everyone performs. Now, does ping equal skill? Not really, but it does determine the skill ceiling. That was my take on ping. Happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Join the Discords, CruhBridge, all down in the description. I'll see you guys later. Peace. With a 200 minute, you would probably perform better, and everyone else, and the skill ceiling for the whole game increases whenever both